everyone, and welcome to my HSC biology series. I hope they are super helpful and really help explain the content. So I'll just explain a little bit why these videos are coming into effect. So in New South Wales, we sit the HSC exam, which is a high school certificate, and this year the format of the exam and the content is changing. So it will start from 2018, fourth term here, which starts from October to December, and will continue until next year, and obviously will go on for the next couple of years. The current HSC program for biology started 20 years ago or something, so there's not a lot of resources for you guys. So I really wanted to help you out and hopefully really talk about things I'm really passionate about. This is what I'm studying at university, so it's relevant. I can totally understand where this new HSC content is heading. So I really hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, like, share, comment below. Okay. So the new HSC syllabus is designed by NESA, and essentially it's been redesigned into 5 components. There are 4 content modules and 1 working scientifically skills. So the 4 modules, which will go into more depth, is hereditary, genetic change, infectious disease, non-infectious disease, and disorders. So before I go into it, I'll just give you a little snapshot of what I'm doing. So I am a medical science student and I do a business degree, so I do double at a university in Sydney, and I'm second year. I'm halfway through it when I'm starting these videos, and probably will finish at the end of my second year or early into third year, or late into third year, depending on how much, because I really want to give this a really good shot for you guys and really do them really well, so that you can rely on some audiovisual content, not merely just a textbook or your teacher, because I found these so helpful and I'm so thankful that they were around for my HSC. So I also am doing an internship at uni, so I can see the research side, and I run my own tutoring company, so I do teaching and I do research and I do studying, and I'm just loving what I'm doing. So I really wanted to help you guys. If you have any questions about medical science or research or anything like that, also write me comments. So essentially, we talk about working scientifically, which includes 7 main outcomes. So I'll just talk you through each one of them. So communication is how we explain things to other scientists, because it's no point doing magnificent work and not being able to communicate. That's not the point of science. If we think of Mendel with his pea pods, which we'll get to in our genetics topic, or genetic change, I'm not too sure which one it is, but there's definitely Mendel. He only was discovered once he died, and we don't want that. We want communication, we want networking, we want it to be a really awesome exercise for everyone who is doing science. So the second one is questioning and predicting. These are our hypotheses of experiments and our aims. The third one is planning and investigation. So this is our scientific method, our aim, hypothesis, methods, equipment, conclusion, discussion, etc., etc. Results. 4 is conducting an investigation, so that's actually the active point of doing it. Number 5 is processing data and information, so you get information and data, you process it, you look at it, how does it relate to the results we're getting? The same thing with analysing. We're given the data, then we have to answer questions based on that data set, which you still do all the way up to tertiary education, which is university. And then 7 is problem solving, really inherent to science. So this is the HSC Biology Hereditary NESA syllabus. So this is what it says on the blurb. Now this is to do with how genetic information is moved from organism to organism and how species are essentially can survive within an environment. So we're just going to have a bit of a read. Life continues through the process of reproduction and hereditary. Students expand their knowledge of evolution by understanding the cellular process involved in increasing genetic diversity. They investigate reproduction and inheritance patterns in both plants and animals, as well as the role of DNA and polypeptide synthesis and the use of technology. So again, that's the content. Now, if we look below, this is what you will have to do while studying this point. So contemporary research, and you'll also have to talk about the effects of society. So it's not just merely being able to rattle off content, but also how this relates to society. That's where the new marks are coming in. It's all about the application. If you understand the content, can you apply? Very much tertiary level thinking. So this is now the next module called genetic change. So this is really awesome. So we've learned about genetics or hereditary in the last module. So now we're talking about genetic change. which is the natural and human-induced cause and effects of genetic changes. So we've got three main ones: mutation, environmental pressures, and biotechnology. Really important. And we want you then to say, look, guys, I understand the content, but here is where it's visible. It's in agriculture, industry, medicine, and we're looking at biotechnology. Huge, huge field, guys. There's a lot of stuff going in genetics, how we can mutate and how we can, get a whole bunch of genetic material inserted into a new DNA of another organism. Really awesome stuff. So really, really good. Biotechnology is an awesome field. Then infectious diseases. So it talks about the treatment, prevention, and control of infectious diseases, both locally and globally. This unit, if you really enjoy it, is called epidemiology, and it looks at the human immune system and the response to an infectious disease. So we then talk about the effects this has on humans and overall health. So we try and leave it and kind of expand this to our medical and agricultural applications. And we're looking at several scientists, so you'll need to know all about these scientists, which we'll get into. Then non-infectious diseases and disorders. So students engage the study of non-infectious disease and disorders, including their cause and effect. So this is epidemiology, it's the management of health, and that's where that happens. And again, we want to look at solutions relating to the management of human disorders. So let me give you an example. An infectious disease, something like influenza, the flu. Non-infectious diseases are something like cancer or diabetes 1. And here are some references. None of this content in here was my own. It's all from the first site here, which is NESA. Please have a look at that if you want to look at the syllabus. And then the second one was where I got images. And yeah, hope that helps, and there'll be more videos coming up. Thanks, guys.